Welcome to Doctoring the Truth, the podcast where we pull back the curtain on healthcare gone wrong. I'm your host, Jenna Tennell, and with me is my delightful co-host, Amanda House. We're two doctors of audiology here to bring you inside real-life cases where once trusted healthcare providers veered off the ethical path into criminal territory.
Amanda!
Anna. Hi.
How are you, chickadee-dee-dee-dee-dee?
Doing real good. How are you?
Good. I am so stoked to hear about part 2 of this horrific tale and for hopefully some justice. Well deserved.
Yes, I'm excited to share part 2 with you guys.
We were just talking before we started about, spoiler alert, we talked before we start this. It's ladybug in the face season here in Minnesota. Oh my gosh. And they're not real ladybugs. Do they come from Japan? I don't know. They're like little bitey ones that are rusty orange and mean.
I know. And they you don't even know, like I'll be walking Raven and one will land on me and I don't even know. And then it starts biting me and I'm like, what the hell?
I know. Why are they so mean? I used to think they were sweet, you know?
I know. It's like a different brand. I don't like it. They're rude.
My daughter has a friend named Lainey, and she dressed up as Ladybug for Halloween, otherwise calling herself the Lainey Bug, which is so cute. But I was like, do you have fangs? Because if you're a Minnesota ladybug, you're not a friend.
Valid question.
You're a foe.
I have asked people, like, since when are ladybugs so rude?
I know.
Like, in childhood, growing up, I'm like, they used to be cute. Count their little speckles.
I used to be like, yeah, you count their freckles and you go fly home to however many freckles worth of babies. Ladybug, fly on home, something or other. Your house is on fire and your children are alone.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a little bit sinister.
Wow.
Did you not do that one?
No.
Oh.
But I kind of want to look it up.
Yeah. Oh boy, I feel ancient at this point. But yes.
Maybe they got sick of being told their house was on fire, so they're like,
and your children are alone. And they're like, we don't care. We want to just bite us a human. Oh man. Is this the point where we talk about correction section? I think we have a couple.
So first, I'll share that last time when I was reading about quantum squares, I apparently just, didn't put the percentage off on. I guessed, Jenna guessed. I think it was in the middle of our guesses at 25% off.
Yeah. One of us said 20 and the other said 30. But guess what, guys? 25%. That's a quarter. 25% off. A quarter of the price. Taken off just for our listeners.
I'm pretty sure that promo has since ended. I think that's the one that ended on Halloween.
Okay. So it doesn't matter.
So anyway, we're just correcting ourselves for the record. But when we tell you it's a limited time deal, it's a limited time deal.
Yeah, you gotta get on it. And so kudos to those of you who listened and responded in a timely fashion. The other correction is that just laughing at Amanda's notes. Jenna moved to the woods and she hasn't discovered the internet yet.
No, I said the woods haven't discovered the internet yet. You're missing the internet.
Yeah, so our timing is a bit off. Thank you for bearing with us and having patience. We're still not sure when recording day and producing day will be. We're going to definitely get you an episode a week, but it might vary for a while until we figure out if, we can upload. So what happened was after 21 years at my previous job, I moved 4 or 5 hours north of where I was. And it's way up at the boonies, beautiful place, but signal isn't always reliable. So loving my new life. However, not so great when it comes to reliable signals. So stay tuned, listeners, and thank you for your patience.
Yes. So the schedule change that I posted, that may change again, but that's fine because you know what? The woods don't have the internet, and we're just trying to figure that out as we go here.
I'm wondering if the bears are blocking the signal. I keep get or the meese.
I think
Mice? Moose?
just moose. I don't know.
Do you know how big those things are? I mean, I haven't run into one yet, but I've been warned by people around here, and they're like as big as a truck. Like huge.
I've never seen one in person.
So, but me either, and I hope that stays the way it is. But that being said, that between that and an 11-foot bear that I've been told about,
legendary
bear. If any of our listeners have any advice for how to survive a bear attack or get rid of bears and moose, let us know. I'm collecting suggestions. Originally, I thought maybe I could climb a tree, but apparently their little beasties are really good at that.
No, they're excellent. Yeah.
So I might just stay inside.
And obviously the obvious of don't leave your trash out, because when I lived up north, definitely way more, I hate to say civilized, but we didn't have internet issues, but we had bear issues, and wow, did they love to fuck up some trash.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's concerning.
It would be like driving in a neighborhood and everyone's trash just tipped over. It's kind of funny, but it also sucked if you had to pick up all your ripped trash.
I mean, don't they call raccoons trash bandits? What are bears?
I think
like
so.
Trash demons compared to raccoons.
Thrashers.
Yeah.
Trash thrashers.
Oh my gosh. What's really funny is my colleagues got me a going away survival kit before I moved up here, and you're one of those. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And in that kit, you probably know since you were part of it, was a How to Survive a Bear Attack book of helpful hints, which rather than helpful, they seem to be more terrifying than anything. But so thanks. But also because I love animals, and I appreciate the fact that we need to hunt and, overpopulations of things, but not a big fan of doing that myself, which makes me a hypocrite, I guess. But anyhow, if a bear comes up to me, normally people would choose a bear spray of some kind, but I was given, because I don't like to hurt animals, I was given a canister that releases a 140 decibel signal to scare the bear. At which point I was like, that's wonderful. So a bear is coming up to me. I released this siren thing. And I mean, it looks like a can of mace. And I release it, and it's 140 decibels or whatever it is. Both I and the bear are both deafened. What happens when the bear comes back? Because he's already deaf. So I'm going to hold that thing up again, and he's going to go, I don't care. I can't hear it.
Both of you. You're not going to even hear the bear coming.
I'm going to know if it's working. So, yeah. Suggestions, comments, advice, reach out. The girl's a bit worried about survival here in the wilderness, but thanks again for the gift.
They're going to hibernate soon. You'll be okay. You have a little bit of time. They're hungry right now, but so if you can get through this hunger part, they'll be hibernating.
And then in the spring, when they come out, do they come out at the same time as the groundhog to look around?
I don't know.
I mean, we always hear about this groundhog who's going to determine whether or not we get an extra. Okay. All right. Well, so I'll look out for the groundhog and then replenish my supplies get my hearing protection out so that at least I won't lose my hearing if I'm
like, there goes that girl that walks around with all the hearing.
sounding off at a bear. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Anyway. So, what's in store for us today? We've got a new sponsor. Tell me about this one.
Okay. Tana, I believe is how you pronounce it. It's Tona activewear. It was founded by a former Lululemon designer and inspired by the chief design officers who was a competitive athlete. They created premium leggings designed specifically for women who train hard. Because who loves working out with leggings that roll the fuck down? No one. They have moisture-wicking fabric and a 4-way stretch technology. They offer comfort, flexibility, and a flawless fit. Customers have praised them for staying in place, feeling like a second skin, and enhancing their shape. With a 100% fit and happiness guarantee, Tana promotes its leggings as the ultimate combination of style and performance. The last black leggings you'll ever need, they say. Visit theworldwideweb.tanaactive.com for 16% off your order with our exclusive code, Stay Suspicious. And I'm always game for a good legging.
Right? Also, I just heard an ad on the radio today for like a Pilates class, and they said, make it right, keep it tight.
Ooh, get it right, get it tight.
Yes. Leggings from Tona. Perfect.
And also, if they were founded by a former Lululemon designer, I gotta imagine they're pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, kind of not really fitting into regular leggings at this moment, but can't wait to try them when I'm not pregnant. So if y'all try them, please let me know. I'm a big leggings gal. I think I forgot to say this the last time, but as always, the resources will be in the show notes. And one of my main sources that I got a lot of the transcript stuff from was from BBC. And they did a series called the Beverly Allitt tapes, which is honestly just chilling because it's real tapes of her investigations and whatnot. Okay. And same trigger warning as last week of child abuse, which I don't think probably in part 2 we really get into that as much. It was just my trigger warning from the last time. But let's see if we can find some justice for these kiddos.
Let's.
So, friends, Alley Cats, welcome to episode 39, part 2 of the Beverly Allitt story. Last week, we learned who Beverly is, her background, and her upbringing, as well as her journey to becoming a nurse. We ended the episode hearing about the 13 helpless children that were brought into the hospital by their loving parents, and then they became victims at the hands of Beverly. And unfortunately, not all of them survived.
Oh, so sad.
So, a team of detectives was established at the Grantham Police Station to investigate the large number of attacks that had happened over an 8-week period, some resulting in death, but even more concerning that the episodes didn't appear to be natural. Michelle Billingsley, detective inspector on the Family Service Unit, was sent to the Grantham Hospital to make general inquiries to the staff and the parents involved. She was trying to establish what had happened, but they were going in blind. They had no clue what they were looking for. And again, I mentioned this before, but they thought initially there was possibly just an innocent bug going around that was causing the collapse of these children. Because why would we ever want to assume that some monster is doing this on purpose?
Right?
Michelle noted that in the interviews, Beverly Allitt was very pleasant and really kind. She seemed kind of quiet, but she was willing to talk and assist with the inquiry. She wasn't set apart from the other staff in the ward that were questioned. Detectives sat and looked at each case and the staff who had cared for the children. And by the time of the questioning, detectives were aware that she had been present for every attack that a child had suffered. But they weren't able to marry her demeanor in the interviews with someone who would be capable of doing this.
I know, but that's the nature of a sociopath, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're good at this.
Yeah.
Masking.
It wasn't too difficult to realize that the crimes were being committed, but they needed hard proof. Detectives contacted Professor Hull at QMC to review Paul Crampton's medical files. After review, he didn't explicitly say the words attempted murder, but he shared he was certain that something unlawful had happened. The medical staff couldn't come up with any evidence that the insulin had been intentionally injected, but they also couldn't come up with any sort of disease or disorder that would cause the body to overproduce insulin either. Vincent Marks, who's a professor emeritus of clinical biochemistry, was at a conference in Glasgow and was told that the police wanted to talk to him. And he was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why do the police want to talk to me?
Right? Yikes.
So he left the conference room he was in and got on the phone with the police, and they explained that they were investigating a possible intentional insulin overdose. So he was able to prove that the insulin had been injected into Paul because there was an insulin present in the blood, but no C-peptide. So he explained that insulin is made in the body naturally and it circulates in the bloodstream as a natural substance. In our bodies, insulin is always released into the bloodstream from the pancreas where it is made, and another sister hormone, C-peptide. So if you measure C-peptide in blood, it is always higher in concentration than insulin because it disappears from the blood more slowly than insulin. So although they both go into the blood at the same rate, the insulin disappears faster. So if you find insulin and no C-peptide, the only absolute cause of the high insulin and the low C-peptide is that someone has given the patient insulin from a bottle.
Oh my God, that is so fascinating.
Uh-huh.
Who knew? Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Thank goodness they thought to call Mr. Smarty Pants.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, that's black and white evidence right there.
Mm-hmm. Paul's insulin result was the highest that Professor Marks had ever seen, and there was no C-peptide present. And that is how he knew it was malicious.
Wow. I've got chills.
Go, Professor Marks!
Ah.
Within a few days, it was evident that the only person who could be guilty was Beverly Allitt. She was the only one present during all of the attacks. She also had access to the drugs and the keys relevant to the investigation. There were missing nursing logs, unexplained drug orders, and discrepancies in the medication storage. They had good evidence that she had something to do with it, but again, they didn't have actual individual evidence. When she was questioned, she told police that she did remember Paul Crampton being on the ward. She recalled that he was there for a possible chest infection and that he was, quote, wheezy, very wheezy, end quote. When questioned more directly about Paul and his hypoglycemic episodes, they told her that she was the only one who had a window of opportunity to possibly inject insulin into Paul. Her response was, quote, why would I do that? I wouldn't do that. You think I went in there and looked at that baby and said, here, have some of this, referring to the insulin, and then left, end quote?
Yes, Beverly.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what everyone thinks, Beverly.
Listen, Bevy, that's what we think happened.
Yo, Bev. We think we know. On May 21st, 1991, Beverly Allitt was arrested at her home for suspicion of theft of a key from the hospital and the attempted murder of Paul Crampton. While being interviewed at the station, they discussed that the fridge key on the big key ring to the drug trolley was missing, and they suspected that she had it, and that is how she had access to the insulin that she injected into Paul.
So that was a fridge. Sorry, so that wasn't like the employee lunch fridge. That was the fridge for the medication.
Correct.
Okay.
And it was just like a huge key ring of keys, and this one particular key to the fridge was gone off the key ring. So she claimed repeatedly, over and over and over, that she would never do such a thing, saying, I'm really going to give that harmful drug to a tiny, helpless little baby. Yeah, Bev, that's what we think.
Evil. So evil. Because she obviously knew it was wrong.
Yeah.
If she's going to say things like that. Yeah.
And I just think back to last week when we talked about how she accepted the role as godmother for that one child. Like, you are such a monster.
Evil godmother.
She was also adamant that she had never seen the missing key. Beverly sat through 9 different interviews that day that started at 10:30 in the morning and they ended at 9:30 at night. They kept their focus on the key, hoping that she would slip up. Because, you see, they knew that during her first interview at the hospital, she had said she had no idea about the key. But in her second interview at the hospital, which was a week after the first, she remembered very detailed accounts about the missing key. She said in that second interview that she was asked to go to the fridge to get some eye drops, and when she got to the fridge, the key was missing. But now, here we are at the police station, and she magically knows nothing about the key again. Until Officer Reeve came in at 9 p.m. and flipped the script on Beverly. He interviewed her more aggressively than anyone had all day, whereas before it seemed as though she built rapport with the detectives. Because they're like, how do we approach this? Are we trying to like build rapport, hope she slips up? And this guy came in and was like, nah. And also, that's end of the day. She's tired.
She's tired. And sociopaths are charming. They're able to really build rapport somehow and recognize what it takes to charm someone and keep them off the scent. So I think that was an excellent tactic on his part.
Agree. So Officer Reeves' aggressiveness made her become antagonistic, and her vulnerabilities began to show, and she knew it, which decreased her confidence. So ding, 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 go Officer Reeve.
Yay.
Dr. Don Archer, professor of pragmatics and corpus linguistics at Manchester Metropolitan University, said, quote, Beverly was remarkably calm for someone of her age and someone who had never been questioned by the police before, but was being asked to give interviews back to back to back. I think she was someone who was good at telling stories. However, when Officer Reeve flipped the script, her pitch begins to rise during the interview, which shows stress. She also began to show double negation, which shows that her confidence was crumbling, end quote.
I love that.
I know. Much. Following the 9 interviews that day, she was released on bail. Police continued to collect evidence, and then they found that she was moonlighting at Lancaster House Nursing Home. Resident Dorothy Lowe was injected with insulin and died of a hypoglycemic attack. She, Beverly, was seen by housekeeping at 3 a.m. with a syringe in her hand, and that was their smoking gun. She was again arrested on the suspicion of the murder of Dorothy Lowe, and when questioned, she would only say, no reply, which is honestly so infuriating to me.
Oh my goodness. She's on a rampage.
But before we get more into that, it's time for a chart note. Chart. Note.
No.
Chart note. Welcome to the Chart Note segment, where we learn about what's happening in medicine and healthcare. In July 2025, researchers at Stanford University announced a breakthrough approach to preventing kidney stones using genetically engineered gut bacteria. Their goal was to tackle one of the main culprits behind kidney stone formation, oxalate, which is a compound that can build up in the body when the kidneys fail to filter it properly. For people with EH, enteric hyperoxaluria, a condition that causes excessive oxalate absorption, the risk is even higher, and existing treatments are often limited or ineffective. To address this, scientists turn to naturally occurring gut microbes. Fossilicolia, blah, blah, blah. You want to take that?
Yeah. I mean, I think you did a great job, but I would say Fossilicola vulgaris.
Got it. Sounds like a Bugatti. Do. They modified the bacterium. You guys, I'm not a microbiologist, okay?
What?
Yeah, right. They modified the bacterium to break down oxalate inside the digestive tract before it could enter the bloodstream. To make the system controllable, they added a clever safety feature. The bacteria was also engineered to depend on porphyrin, a nutrient found in seaweed. This meant that the bacteria could thrive only when the porphyrin was present in the person's diet, essentially giving researchers a way to turn the bacteria on or off. The research unfolded in several stages. First, animal studies, where rats were fed a high oxalate diet, showed up to 47% reduction in urinary oxalate levels after being colonized with the engineered bacteria. In a separate rat model mimicking enteric hyperoxaluria, the usual spike in oxalate excretion was completely prevented, a striking result that gave researchers confidence to move to human testing. And in the first human trial, 39 healthy volunteers received a single oral dose of the engineered bacterium. Results showed that colonization was dose-dependent and could be effectively managed by adjusting the porphyrin intake. The approach appeared safe and well tolerated with no adverse events reported. And in most participants, the bacteria cleared naturally once the porphyrin was removed from their diets. However, in 2 cases, modified microbe persisted in the gut even after antibiotic treatment, likely because some of its genes were exchanged with the native bacteria. Smarty pants science stuff. There's always a couple in a study, right?
Right.
But that did raise important questions about long-term containment and genetic stability. But finally, the team tested the therapy in 9 patients with enteric hyperoxaluria, 6 of whom completed it, and the reduction showed an average of about 27%. Results were not statistically significant due to a small sample size, but the trend suggests that the therapy could be effective with refined and larger studies. Overall, this finding marks a major step forward in using engineered gut biomes as living therapeutics, which is super exciting because I've never had a kidney stone, but I know people that have had kidney stones and they're miserable.
It's like giving birth or something. It's horrible.
Ooh.
I don't know. I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to say giving birth is horrible. Like worse than giving birth. Yeah.
So, yeah, for such a tiny little thing.
Because you don't get the epidural or the joy of having a kid at the end of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, everyone's just straining their pee out there, hoping that it came through. So, anyway, that's exciting. Okay, back to the story. In October of 1991, Beverly was charged with 4 counts of murder, 13 counts of attempted murder, and 13 counts of grievous bodily harm. She was asked, "Why did you attempt to murder these children?" From that point on, the only answer that she would give is no reply. So annoying. So annoying. I mean, first, obviously, she was just lying. You think I would do that? I would never do that.
Yeah.
But somehow that is less annoying than no reply. This was a frenzy in the news with the headlines reading "Baby Killer" and "Killer Nurse." This was one of the highest profile cases because of it being a woman accused of such crimes, but also the fact that she was a nurse. A nurse because someone who is a nurse is gifted to look after the vulnerable and sick. After the news spread, her childhood neighbor, Jeremy Marshall Roberts, could not believe that she would be capable of such crimes. She was the neighborhood babysitter after all.
Yikes. Oh, man.
Yeah. She didn't have the background that you'd typically associate with a serial killer. He said that nothing seemed to have happened to her, no event or something that seemingly would have turned her into a serial killer. But sometimes in a normal family, there will just be an anomaly. This person who doesn't think, respond, or care, or feel like others do. No empathy. And sometimes in society, that's just the luck of the draw. On February 14th, 1993, after already having been in custody for 453 days, Beverly went to trial at Nottingham Crown Court. The trial was obviously difficult and emotional for all of the parents, and there were no signs of emotion whatsoever from Beverly.
Oh, gosh.
Not even facial expressions. Just sat there like a bump on a log.
Oh, what a waste of space.
The trial exposed the crimes in detail. No one was surprised when a guilty verdict came back. Relief filled the courtroom, and the judge, Mr. Justice Lantham, described her as a serious danger to others and made it clear that her release would be unlikely. She was given 13 concurrent life sentences, with the minimum term initially recommended around 30 years. It was the harshest sentence ever delivered to a female, but according to the judge, it was commensurate with the horrific suffering of the victims, their families, and the shame that she had brought upon nursing as a profession.
Amen. By the way, can I just point out that the judge's name was Justice? I mean, if
I
you're going to
know.
name your kid Justice, what a perfect path. I just love that. It's almost too good to be
I
true.
know. Eee! Beverly was detained at the high-security psychiatric hospital, Rampton Secure Hospital, and remains there today. This is a high-security facility that houses mainly individuals detained under the Mental Health Act. As an inmate at Rampton, she, of course, began her attention-seeking behaviors again, ingesting ground glass and pouring boiling water onto her hand. She has subsequently admitted to 3 of the murders of which she was charged, as well as 6 of the assaults.
I have a question. So she was convicted, but then were they using an insanity plea? Like, why does she get to be in a psychiatric hospital?
Yeah, she apparently fell under the qualifications of this Mental Health Act to be held at a mental health hospital. And that was a big thing at the time. The families and everyone were protesting this decision. Like, she should be in jail. Like, she murdered all these people.
She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew that she needed to mask her behavior, lie about it because it wasn't okay, and cover her tracks. So she's not insane.
Mm-hmm. And it's much more cozy. This was said several times, like much more cozy for her to be at Rampton instead of in jail.
Well, maybe not so cozy when you're swallowing glass. I hope that hurt.
Yeah, I hope so too. In December of 2007, Sir Stanley Burnton of the High Court and Court of Appeals judge reviewed her case. Beverly was seeking a reduced sentence. The impression from the trial was that she didn't derive pleasure from what she was doing, but now that Stanley Burnton had her psychiatric records for review, he firmly believed that she did derive pleasure from what she had done. And so with that, the sentence was upheld by the court.
Oh, it worked against her. Ah, I love that. Yay. Take that, Bevy baby. You deserve
She has
that.
been placed on the home office list of criminals who will never be eligible for parole. Amen. Mm-hmm. Le who, the her. Understanding why Beverly Allitt committed these crimes has been a subject of psychiatric and criminology scrutiny. One of the key interpretations is that she exhibited features of factitious disorder, previously known as Munchausen syndrome, and indeed the rare form as Munchausen syndrome by proxy, or MSBP, or factitious disorder imposed on another. In MSPB, the perpetrator includes or fabricates illness in someone else, often a child, to gain attention, sympathy, or a sense of importance. In Beverly's early life, which we talked about last week, the pattern of self-injury and hospital visits pointed to such a disorder. Let us not forget that repeated self-harm, frequent absenteeism, and manipulative relationships. Then, when she entered nursing, the theory goes, her need for attention and to be seen as a heroic figure shifted to harming children in her care that she could rescue them or be seen as indispensable. Dr. Jane Monckton-Smith, forensic criminologist, believes that Beverly has an antisocial disorder with a lot of psychopathic traits. She said of her, she's hurting the children, but she's hurting their parents twice as much. I think it's the adults that she's actually trying to hurt. Children are disposable, collateral damage. She doesn't get as much from hurting the children as much as she does from hurting their parents. For Beverly, the aftermath is just as much a part of the event as the actual assault. She's still the person with the power, and one of the things that gives her power is that she's not affected emotionally by it. So while they're crumbling in front of her, she's a tower of strength.
Oh, wow. Okay. Excellent case, and thank you for covering this as difficult as it has been. It's important. And Dr. Monkton Smith, I think, hit the nail on the head. I don't think it's Munchausen at all, or Munchausen by proxy. She doesn't give a shit about whether or not those kids can recover. She is looking for attention, and she's looking for control, and she's looking to hurt and feel superior in front of those around the
Agreed.
victims that she's hurting. So, yeah, I think that Dr. Smith nailed that one right on the head. And what a tragedy. What a blight on nursing in general, but also those poor children and those poor families. Oh,
You take
my
your
goodness.
baby to the hospital to be healed, and then there's some monster there hurting them.
And I think that's why it gets so much attention is like, oh my gosh, people that go into nursing, first of all, heroes, angels. I mean, she didn't need to do this kind of thing to be a hero. She could have just done her flipping job.
Yeah.
And been admired and gotten gratitude and grandmother or godmother felicitations from doing her job well. So why she had to take it that extra mile is that part that we don't understand with the mental health issue. Not that she was insane. She knew exactly what she was doing was wrong.
Calculated.
But that whether it's taught, sociopathic, or inborn psychopathic need to control and fool people and feel like you're in power and you're better than. So absolutely rare, but absolutely shocking and disgusting. So thank you for bringing this up. That was a great coverage of that case.
Thank you. Yeah, if you guys want to know more, there is a ton out there on her. So, yeah. Ugh. May she rest in distress.
May she rest in distress or rot in unpeace. Rot in misery. I mean, she destroyed a lot of lives and children.
I know. And then some of the marriages too. I mean, some of the parents couldn't recover from going through that tragedy, and then they ended up getting divorced. And so, like, during their interview, they're like, oh, well, my wife at the time or my husband at the time. It's like, that's so sad. Like, you literally crumbled every avenue of their life. Ah!
Yeah.
So, anyway.
I hope she gets the day that she deserves every day. You know, like stepping on Legos and having ingrown toenails and, I don't know, all of the things that make you miserable. Yeah. I mean,
although, I'm not even going to get into it. Never mind. I was going to say, like, that field trip to the hospital, like, you get out for the day.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Just a lot of really horrible, excruciating reminders of of your wrongdoing, I think. Because it's not like she's repentant. Doesn't sound like. So.
No. And when, like, they arrested her and picked her up and whatever, she was all, like, trying to put her head out the window to get that media attention. She was smiling for the tabloids. Like, she was eating it up.
It was the attention factor. Always. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, obviously we could go on for days about how much Beverly sucks, but we can probably move on to sponsor number 2, who doesn't suck. Cheeky. Cheeky offers affordable custom night guards delivered to your doorstep at a fraction of the cost charged by dentists. Our easy to use their easy to use, not mine. I didn't do anything. Their easy to use impression kit captures your bite from the comfort of your home, ensuring a dentist quality night guard tailored to your teeth.
I was going to say you take impressions of ear canals, not teeth canals.
Yeah. That's right. I'm always like, I wonder if Taylor Swift needs me to make in-ear monitors for her concerts, because I would love to be her audiologist. Taylor, come on. But I also love doing like little baby ear molds, and they just sit so tiny in the palm of your hand, like a little 5-weeker. Oh, little baby. Okay, cheeky night guards provide protection against teeth grinding by absorbing the grinding forces, preventing headaches, jaw pain, and chipped teeth while promoting healthier gums and a confident smile. They have free shipping and a 100% money-back guarantee. Cheeky is the perfect solution for teeth grinding or clenching. You can try it risk-free and join thousands who choose Cheeky to solve their grinding and clenching problems. Visit getcheeky.com for 30% off your order with our code Stay Suspicious.
Stay suspicious. 30%. That's crazy.
I know,
That's
right? That's like really good.
Wow. Thanks, Cheeky. Is it time for our medical mishap? We didn't decide we were singing that one, but I feel like recently we've.
You know what? If you ever feel a jingle in your heart, just do it.
Go for it. Is it me or you?
Let's do it. Oh, I don't care.
Oh, I do it. I do it. Okay, I'm going to do it. All right. So this email subject line is, when the translator app tried to kill the vibe. Oh, dear. And it starts, hi, Jenna and Amanda. I'm a respiratory therapist. RT all the way. We love you guys.
RT all day, baby.
I'm a respiratory therapist at a large urban hospital, and this happened during one of those shifts where the universe seems determined to test your professionalism. I mean, amen to you. That's an excellent description of a lot of shifts.
I'm like, Marcy, is this you?
Yeah, Marcy. Shout out to our friend Marcy. She listens. A friend of the pod. We had a patient admitted for shortness of breath who spoke very little English, and none of us on the floor spoke her language. The interpreter line was backed up, so we used one of those translation tablets on wheels.
Oh, yeah. They like stick it to the IV pole, tote it around like, we got the interpreter.
It's like a little robot on wheels. The kind that's supposed to make everything easier, but somehow it turns a simple conversation into a tech support nightmare.
I've been there.
I just love that description. It's so true. Excuse me. I was trying to explain how to use the nebulizer. So I held it up, I pointed and slowly said, breathe in through your mouth. In. The tablet listened intently, blinked twice, and confidently translated something that made the patient's eyes go wide. She shook her head vigorously. Oh no. Oh no, what did they actually say? The nurse beside me checked the screen and turned bright red.
Oh no.
The translation had told her, eat through your mouth.
Oh
now.
Gosh.
I tried again. Breathe in. The tablet repeated, eat it now. The patient looked horrified. We both started waving our hands. No, don't eat it. While the poor woman clutched the nebulizer like it was poison. Oh. Finally, we gave up on the tablet and called the interpreter line. The translator calmly explained everything, and the patient burst out laughing once she realized what had happened. By the end, she pantomimed eating the nebulizer.
That's so funny.
Every time I walked into the room. Oh, she's so cute. It was one of those humbling reminders that even the best technology can't replace real human communication or a sense of humor. Signed, the RT who will never trust a translation app again.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you.
Listen, RT. Oh my God. That is so funny. Bless her heart. And at least you got to the end, the root of it at the end, and the patient didn't go home and try to eat their nebulizer.
Yeah, that would be no bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno. Yeah, those.
Oh my goodness.
On the IV stand. I guess that's what like we had it on at a hospital I worked at. But it's always like, yeah, I don't know. It can be awkward. But thank goodness we can get quick access to interpreters when we need them. But
yes,
it's a little awkward.
Yes. OMG. Well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess, you've had some time off.
I have.
You had me, and then it was Shannon, and then me twice. So
I really don't have it.
So what are we going to hear about?
Oh my gosh, it's my turn. And boy, is it my turn. So thank you to you and Shannon for holding up your end while I moved into the woods with the bears.
You had a pretty big move.
I did. And we'll say that our next episode is going to be a little surprise. And it is at the request of Jillian Tennell, our newest sponsor, who had a story request. So that's what happens when you support our show. And if you click on support us link, you'll also be able to pick an episode topic and support us so that we can continue to do what we're doing. Anyway, it's a doozy of a case, so you're gonna wanna tune in.
I can't wait. I have no idea. I'm in the same boat as you guys. I have no idea what's going on. I want to know.
I'll give you a hint. It's not about a bear.
Oh God.
So
I thought you were going to say it has to do with medical.
It's something medical, yes. Health, true crime and healthcare, because that's what we're all about. But meanwhile, until you join us again, don't miss a beat. Subscribe or follow Doctoring the Truth wherever you enjoy your podcasts for stories that shock, intrigue, and edumacate. Trust, after all, is a delicate thing. You can text us directly on our website at doctoringthetruth@buzzsprout.com. Email us your story ideas at doctoringthetruth@gmail.com. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at Doctoring the Truth Podcast and on Facebook at Doctoring the Truth. We're also on TikTok at Doctoring the Truth and EdAudPod, EDAUDPOD. Don't forget to download, rate, and review. You guys, I can't even emphasize this enough. We would love you to spend your money sponsoring us, but honestly, if you were downloading and rating and reviewing us, it means millions. So please do that. Take a second, review us. Only if it's 5 stars. Otherwise, just, you don't need to. But we want to be able to bring you more content. So stay safe until then, and stay suspicious.
Okay, bye.
Bye.